This is Smithy.tv.
Hey guys, what is going on? I am the Lindsay Lewis.
I am at Schoolboy Rapey. At Kevin Herron.
If you didn't watch our last episode, it is available. You can check it out on. I'm sure we tweeted it out. You can check it on the Smithy channel and also.
Oh sure, yeah.
on
You
iTunes.
could check it on the Smithy YouTube. You can check it on the iTunes.
This is a little bit of Schoolboy Rapey.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll get to know what that joke is. We kind of summed up the last couple of weeks of WWE all in one thing.
Yeah.
And we got a little crazy by trying to enter Tough Enough, and his persona is Schoolboy Rapey Kevin Herron.
Yeah, that's it's a force to be reckoned with and feared
By many.
possibly locked up in some sort of institution.
Restraining orders pending.
Yeah.
You guys are listening and watching to Vintage Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today.
And what's the Twitter handle for?
It is at Schoolboy Rapey.
Oh.
No, it is at New Day. No, it's not. It's actually at Vintage Podcast. Thank you.
We got
guys.
there eventually.
We did.
Yeah.
So tweet us any complaints about our Tough Enough character. I do think we should enter that video for their next one if this one succeeds.
We'll send it in now. And we're already filming, right?
Yeah. But we'll promote the show going come talk to us and we'll get in the ring if you need to. We'll get on the mic, but what would Schoolboy Rapey say on the mic? I love how this is not my name. We were talking.
Yeah.
I said Schoolboy Rapey.
Yeah, well, I think it would be less actual words and more just kind of like a creepy
Lingering stares.
Yeah, sort of like a creepy grumble the.
Now, where do you think he's from? Undertaker's Parts Unknown. Do you think he's from your sister's basement? Or
Yeah.
something creepy like that. From
I don't
District 9.
From Parts Explored.
Oh, that's great. Oh man, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're trying to have some laughs and have some fun today.
And
We
maybe
thought-
he just sits there rubbing his bare belly with a microphone and just
And he's got to wear a bathrobe. I think a bathrobe is free. Oh, that's great. So I was trying to say we're having a little fun today and we thought we'd have a non-prediction and just kind of talk classic WWE stuff, but what better way to talk about our made-up Tough Enough character?
So yeah, that's
that's great stuff. That's fun.
That I think should lead us to maybe a first question to throw your way.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to throw you the question. We were talking before we started recording, just a couple things we could lob at each other.
I was pretending we didn't know the questions to see maybe we were so fresh with our thoughts.
Yeah.
But
Well, to be honest, in terms of knowing the questions, really we
had two questions.
we have literally next to nothing. We just sort of casually talked about stuff. It's meh, yeah, whatever. So given that, I will ask just in the interest of keeping the Schoolboy Rapey vibe alive. What is the most awkward or I guess maybe unfortunate thing to appear on a Raw? This could be a segment. This could be
Sheamus.
an event.
Sheamus. No,
Sheamus,
okay.
yeah.
There's so many things, and I know people.
I'll give you two because I got two right off the top of my head.
Okay, you go.
All right. First, actually, both involving Triple H. Oddly enough.
The game, Triple H.
Yeah. There. One. I'm gonna go with the most obvious thing is the Katie Vick storyline. Just in terms of how
The fact that they did it.
of Schoolboy Rapey it was.
There was a vibe of that.
It got real weird real quick. At first it was just sort of oh wow, he's really trying to get under Kane's skin. We haven't seen this before. Kane was sort of this crazy big red machine monster, and he had no soul and whatever. And then Triple H was slowly chipping away, and it was oh, this is getting and then it got oh whoa, let's just back it up.
Park the brakes here.
What?
That's worse for Schoolboy Rapey here.
What's he doing with the corpse? And yeah, it got real weird real quick. So that's my number one for that is Katie
Can I just
Vick.
say, imagine pitching that idea to him, and it's easy, everybody but Kane or the person doing it, because you're just oh, it's nothing, but you're not the guy who's gonna be known forever for this,
Yeah.
How do you pitch that idea?
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel
Kane, Glenn, come on in here for a second. We have this great because Vince would be excited. Probably he's like,
Yeah.
we have some great news for you. He's like,
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna be the world heavyweight champ? No, even better.
Your
Necrophilia storyline.
yeah,
it's coming your
your
way.
dead ex-girlfriend is going to be raped by Triple H in a coffin. Huh?
Am I winning the world title?
Yeah.
No, still no.
So, I mean, yeah, that just I have no idea why that was a thing. But number 2, also involving Triple H, but in more of a group situation here is with DX. This is when it was DX was X-Pac, the New Age Outlaws.
X-Pac ruined that group, man. I didn't think I was
yeah.
a big fan of him. Sorry, continue.
When they were feuding with the Nation of Domination, and they all came out in blackface. And really not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. Like, it was maybe like 98, 99, something like that. I'd say 98 just to be a little conservative with the timeline. And that's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. And also, I don't really remember blackface being okay in like the past, I don't know,
I like how
60
your 2
years.
ones are things that aren't really okay: necrophilia and blackface to all regular audiences,
Yeah.
to most people.
At least we know where schoolboy rapey lines are.
We knew
So
the lines were drawn, and you crossed it.
The lines are drawn in the blackface necrophilia areas. So that's the 2 things off the top of my head that are just like have always just been kind of like, huh, that's
That got approved. That
yeah.
actually made the approval over the week.
and just one of those things where it's just like, oh, that was an idea that didn't get rejected. So just the
I was
amount.
see a list of the ideas
Yeah.
that didn't make it that time.
Yeah,
That one's
exactly.
like, we had to make space for Kane's storyline here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like the one where it's just like, oh no, that wouldn't play on TV. Let's go the necrophilia way.
Yeah.
And
We're going it no matter what. Kane, do you want TV time or not?
Yeah.
Just say yes. Just say yes. You're the big red monster, damn it.
it's like, yeah, we're going in a different direction. We're gonna do blackface this week. What?
And Triple H is like, I'm down. I'm down,
All right,
man.
calm down there, Al Jolson.
Oh.
Oh man. All right.
So
here we
sorry,
go.
was the word ridiculous or?
Sort of unfortunate, ridiculous, sort of things that have popped into your head.
I'm gonna actually spin this in a positive, power of positivity pop. New Day, still not tag team champs, unfortunately, unless something's happening before we tape the show. Segments like Santino with Vladimir Kozlov and Sheamus. This is probably the best Sheamus has ever been. This is something that should have never worked. Stuff that, like, I don't know why it was conceived, but it works. And stuff like David Otunga, Christian, and R-Truth. Moments like this, I like ridiculous stuff that work. So, like, I'm trying to do a positive way. Like, and stuff like when R-Truth was facing Cena and he had all his, like, you know...
Little Jimmy.
Yeah, capital punishment stuff, and when he's in, like, you know... like an old-time soldier, and he's scared of spiders, right? I like stuff like that, the craziness where it booked, but it worked. So that's why I like New Day. It's like, at first it was just a joke, and they weren't sure what they're doing in Power Rangers, or like, are they gospel? We didn't really know. So yeah, my thing is actually, like, just segments that somehow worked, you know? And I don't like going with, like, the Mae Young hand stuff or whatever. I like, you know what I mean? And I like ridiculous stuff like the spinning ring of WCW, you know, like, worldwide. Like, so I appreciate the stuff. I also can't think of a moment right now. I'm trying to delay.
What about the live sex celebration with Edge and Lita?
You know what? That was one of those. I think they realized Edge's contract for not contract, his Money in the Bank was coming up soon. They wanted to do something big. They had it and they were giving him the title, but it was one of those they thought for it. They went with it, and it ended up being one of their highest rated segments for the next 5 years. So stuff, the ridiculous stuff that works is like I really respect. I can't really honestly have an answer. That's my thing is I actually don't remember the question, so I was saying
It's like the most I guess unfortunate thing that got approved. So
you know what?
I'm gonna throw another one out there.
The ending of the last Tough Enough was unfortunate because you're like, what is going on here? And Stone Cold just basically like stunned the other guy, but like it's just like the guy went nowhere. His career, I think he went to jail, like we said last time, Silent Rage, and it led us to Schoolboy Rapey, bro.
That's very true. I got one more just to even it out.
Yeah,
with,
take it
with
for
four.
mine because I clearly didn't have one.
So it also goes along the same vein as I guess it borders on a little Schoolboy Rapey. There was a segment where Heidenreich. Do you remember Heidenreich?
like I didn't.
He's like this big, like sort of German
that was around
dude.
the time like I was like reading up on SmackDown and less watching it.
Yeah, big German dude, and he had like MMA gloves and like wore red trunks. It got. I don't even know where.
Oh,
like,
Gene Snitsky, shout out to him. He
Oh, yeah.
took a beat.
punting a baby.
That storyline should have been like dead, but he made it work for about a month.
Yeah.
And he had they gave him that fake yellow teeth stuff.
Yeah.
So that guy I felt really bad for. So I'm gonna use him as an example. I don't know
Okay.
how. Gene Snitsky, hello.
Snitsky. Yeah. There.
And he had a foot fetish too. Like he was like they're like, you know, Kane's getting a little older and mature. Who's gonna do all this stuff? Gene Snitsky walks in for his 2-year run. Hey Gene.
Yeah.
You look like a guy who might have a foot fetish. You look like a guy who might kick babies. You're hired. Sorry, Heidenreich. Back to Heidenreich.
So there was a Heidenreich interview. It was like a sort of awkward German, but he was brought in like this like technical like German, super wrestler. Somewhere along the line, I guess, because like I took a little bit of a hiatus from wrestling for like a year or two.
Apparently, so did the writers.
At some point, they changed his character where he became like a really sort of deranged, but like they had it where I don't even know a way to like cushion the blow here, but yeah, Michael Cole got raped by Heidenreich.
I'd never known this. I would have said this. What happened? Seriously?
Yeah, he like kind of like came up behind him in like a back room setting and just sort of like got real close and just was like thrusting himself and like just it had like this weird like sort of like Degrassi feel where like he just sort of like it was like sort of like a Lifetime special where he was just like Michael Cole was like crying and like there was this like terror and like just it was. I'll have to send you that maybe we'll post it on our Twitter. This Heidenreich raping Cole was up there. Anyway, moving on.
And so actually, just the side story or whatever, because you mentioned Degrassi, we actually, a few weeks ago, we actually went to the Niagara Comic Con, and we were actually hanging out with someone who's on the Smithy channel, Pat Mastriani, who played Joey Jeremiah on Degrassi. He got to hang with us. Like, you and your fiance came, and you guys, like, known him, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and she is still talking about it to this day.
Which is great, so, like, that's a great day, because we went there to talk to wrestlers.
Yeah.
People like the Iron Sheik and some other people, because I don't want to mention names, because I'm going to tell a story in a second, but... So we at least got something cool like that for you guys, because we then tried to interview some wrestlers. Iron Sheik wasn't there, and there was a couple other ones there.
Yep.
And we're like, because we originally were supposed to have the stuff set up, and our green room we didn't get the access that was told to us. But anyways, we had to go around asking some of the people, and we went up to one of the wrestlers. I'm not gonna say names, but we went, hey, we're very polite. And we're like, and it was a dead point when we mentioned. We walked up to him, went, hey, if you had like 5 minutes or something and wanted to talk, we're doing a little podcast. We have a little fun, but we'd love to talk about your career if you want to talk about anything, kind of thing. And he said the only way he would do it is if we bought one of his items, the cheapest item being the $20 picture.
Yeah.
And also the quality of his pictures weren't great either.
Yeah, and we're not naming names or anything, but
Schoolboy Rapey.
yeah, he.
Schoolboy Rapey, don't.
We said, hey, we're from Vintage Podcast, and he did Soviet.
I didn't know if we were gonna mention, because anyone who knows now knows who it is.
I'm just saying he said so what, but in some sort of undiscernible accent. I don't know.
So my thought, just quickly to talk about that, is there's a lot of podcasts and there's a lot of wrestling stuff online, and like I even got a chance to interview like 2 years ago, before, like the last time we went there with Smithy, it was like I got a cool interview with Hacksaw. We got him for about like 7 minutes or whatever, and like we got him and like he talked to me for a minute before and we did it, and it was just like it was fun. He was in character. It's like this is why you go to those things, and I get you got to make money all that, but at the time there was no one there, and so it's just unfortunate because you never know in this industry who's going to be excited to talk to you and who's not. And, we're excited about this stuff at the same time. We did our research and we'll talk about it whatever you want to. But yeah, so it's just one of those, it was an interesting, and there's also other conventions coming up. We're trying to actually get some cool interviews, but it was just an interesting little thing, and that'd be my unfortunate story I picked by WWE is after the fact. No, and like
getting snubbed by Hall of Famers.
Yes, that's a part of our new Twitter handle, snubbed by Hall of Famers and Schoolboy Rapey. So we have all these great Twitter handles.
We can add that to our
I think we
Twitter.
might. Yeah, I hope we do. Let's shake it up, Twitter. But so just like, have you guys had any stories like that? Let us know if there's any people. But yeah, no, like at the same time, we're still going to try to get interviews, and we have some people on the line later down the year potentially. But it's just it's interesting in the world, like the conventions and all that. Like I don't know, like because I know some wrestlers tell great stories and they're there for hours, and other ones it's just about the money. Like the Virgil stuff. Like lonelyvirgil.com or lonely whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of like you mentioned Degrassi, and I thought we mentioned that. But yeah, it was an interesting day.
And we'd mentioned a couple episodes ago that we were doing the Niagara Comic Con, and if you guys are wondering why there wasn't really any footage or much mention of anything, it's because we had
we got asked to pay to do an interview.
Yeah, it was a bust in some senses, but a pretty good success in others. So we have exciting things on the horizon, but the things we went there to do didn't necessarily work out.
And that's okay, because like I thought it was funny, because like on the spot, I was like in those moments like when you're talking, you're trying to pretend to go like, because he says the offer for money and all that, and you're like, oh, because you don't want to hurt someone's feeling right away. Go like, screw you, like So it's like I was trying to think what to say, and then we're doing the and then you just the classic like, oh, we don't actually have money on us right now, but we'll like kind of come back, and we try to be polite as much as possible. But it's just like, if you're gonna pay money for something, it better be like the Cenas or the Rocks, and even then,
Yeah, and
everybody's got a price. Apparently, not us.
But like, yeah, and I think the thing that bothered me the most is like, we're both wearing media passes around our neck and everything, so it's clear that we're not just like dudes walking up in the convention.
And we made sure it was like when it was quiet. We didn't want to do it while he's making money.
Yeah, so
and like I believe the quote was, "I'm not doing anything for free today."
Yeah. His lady wouldn't let him do anything for free.
That's what he said.
So
that's what he said.
Yeah. So so basically.
And I get it. It's a business, but at the same time, I've interviewed people who are like bigger stars, and I'm not trying to use that, but like, so it's like you never know. So I hope you guys, had some good stuff with any WWE past or present.
It's
let us know your stories if you got one.
Yeah, we understand conventions is a big part of the business of post pro wrestling careers, and that's fine. But we're also there to promote people. So it's in the name of integrity for ourselves and for our show. That's why we don't have anything to show for our Niagara.
But we're still excited for like what we have to come. Let's go back into
some questions. It's gonna be a new day.
So let's have a few more questions, since that was what this show is about.
Favorite title ever?
I was about to ask you favorite title ever, Kevin. That was the one question we prepared for.
So favorite and worst title. Let's just go there. So I asked you first.
I have to say it'd either probably be the White Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. That'd be third place. Second place would be the Bret Hart WWE title.
Yeah.
But number one has got to be the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
The big gold.
Big gold around Sting's waist. And WCW tarnished that legacy. But there's just something.
Painting a WO.
There's that and just everything. And there's just and they still used it for years in WWE. There's just something about that just tells me that's the prize you want.
Yeah. Because that was like the big kind of NW. I know they had a different belt then, but like that sort of had
there's a legacy, and it looks great if you want to just go from an aesthetically pleasing way.
I loved the Winged Eagle belt, which is like the Bret Hart kind of that era belt. I really like the white Intercontinental belt, and see what else we got here.
Now, what are your thoughts on like the new belt right now, the new WWE World Heavyweight? Do you like it? I think it's pretty good for like changing up from like the spinner and all that. I think it's in the right direction.
Yeah, I hated the spinner so much.
I got it for a while because when Cena was hot and like it was still like they were still getting a little bit bigger numbers right around the time the big guys were leaving. I did get it for a year, and it was a great chance to sell stuff, especially more like a U.S. title. But at a certain point, it's kind of like once he didn't have it on there and it wasn't really his, it kind of like it felt like they could have changed it. But it did make this new one like at least more approved.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's
And The Rock was the guy who did it, so I think you want to have a big guy like Rock or Brock be the guys to change it,
Yeah.
and they both did.
Yeah, I like the new one because it can be personalized with the plates and the sides.
And that's like the first ever, I think,
Yeah.
other than like Cena, Spinneroonie, and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and that's the thing, because like they personalized it for Cena, but they personalized it for, let's see, came in roughly around 2003 or 4. Probably got the title around 2005.
I think it was
so
around
about
like
8
2000.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 8 years. That they had this like awful gaudy spinner belt. And like they did the same thing with the U.S. title. I don't know if you remember that or not. And then JBL.
And the U.S. title at the time, I get that because it's SmackDown 2 at the time, so it's not as bad. But this is supposed to be your big title.
U.S. title is fine because like I could totally see them mixing it up for that. But then like changing the like just a guy becomes champion and then be like, oh, well, this is the new title now for everyone.
And like I get like when
what?
him and Edge fought, like he turned the Raider Dollar thing. But the thing is, after that's gone and all these guys are fighting for your main title, it like you think it should have a little bit more prestige, I guess. Not one guy's like kind of trademark on it. So with that said, I still don't think that's the worst because I'm going to lead to our question of the worst looking belt, and I think we might agree because I think the answer is obvious to anybody.
Yeah.
And most people are going to say, and some will say it different.
Can we say it together? All right.
All right, 3,
2, 1.
TNA.
Jeff Hardy's TNA belt.
No. So pretty much the same thing. Yes,
we just said it in the
same.
opposite order. Yeah.
We did. That I don't know who approved that, but I think they're jawless. They should be. You take chances, and I do think that's great. Like Schoolboy Rapey, you went out there promoting it, not knowing where it went. You know that it's probably going to get you arrested. This title belt was not going to get it's not going to sell you more pay-per-views or get you more money. I don't know why they made it. I get it looked kind of like Jeff Hardy. It was very even the Divas were kind of like it's like. It just,
looked like the Diva
shape
belt,
too. It
but
looked like
like-
it would hurt people.
Yeah, it was just-
looked like He-Man would wear it, or like She-Ra would wear it, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know.
And if you don't know it, maybe we'll try to tweet a picture of it, like if you don't remember it. But it just it
Oh,
was
it's the
purple,
worst.
black, and had like bedazzles around. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just it was.
Matt
it
Hardy
like
had a
TNA
really
or-
bad one too. He had sort of like a jokey one.
In
think
TNA?
I think it was in Ring of Honor, if I'm not mistaken. But it was almost as bad as Jeff Hardy's, but I think it may have been a joke. More so.
Now, speaking of titles, I'm actually just curious, and same with you guys if you want to answer or tweet us. What are your thoughts on the Zack Ryder Intercontinental Championship when his show is big? Because that was something that had they talked to him, it could have turned into something to build to a storyline. But now, so what are your thoughts on stuff like that?
Do you mean the
'Cause Zack-
Intercontinental or the
Zack
or when he
Ryder
had his-
Internet title.
Oh, Internet title.
Zack Ryder, if you don't know, his YouTube
Yeah.
show took off like when they didn't even ask him to do it, and he kind of went on his way, and he could have got fired. It didn't, and he ended up proclaiming himself the Internet champion, and he made a belt with his face on it and all that. And him and Ziggler wanted to fight for it.
Yeah,
And he
I
never-
wanted them to
Mania?
actually use it, and like.
But I get it.
defend
It's
the
like
belt.
it's like to have someone go out of your way and like you're like this is his thing, so they wouldn't make money off it.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, maybe they missed so many golden opportunities because like they were big on social media exposure at the time, and like obviously still are.
And then you have this guy who's not like the John Cena's of the world. But
Yeah.
he got himself over.
So if they just did like they can do it now, especially with like apps like Periscope,
Yeah.
where they live stream things from wherever they are. So like kind of use that, but like hardcore rules.
Mhm.
So have just like the feeds pop up every once in a while when there's going to be like a random match, and it could be at any time. You know, like same thing as like the 24/7 hardcore rules. So they
And
put
it's
up
a
a
good chance
live
to give like the
Yeah.
smaller guys a chance.
they put up a live stream for the Internet Championship that only is defended on the internet.
I didn't even think that's really good.
You know,
That's
like
pretty solid. I mean, it's too late now. I think.
yeah, it's.
But,
I mean,
like-
it's no longer relevant.
But it's like the guys
at all.
like if and when like Adam Rose or Fandango don't have anything going on or R-Truth and all that, or maybe Neville the Man storylines forgot. Maybe they
the man creative forgot.
yeah they definitely did, and maybe soon they'll recover that after SummerSlam or something like that. No, but yeah, if they did it right, they could have done cool stuff like that or a pre-show title, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe then Zack Ryder's, but Zack Ryder's an example of they're like we want you to get over, and then you do, but they're like it's not the right time. And same with New Day. You're like, we don't know what we're doing with this. So just like, it sucks when there's a glass ceiling. I will say this for Zack Ryder. Had he not done that, it wouldn't have been right away, but I don't think he'd still be working WWE. So I think doing that show, even though it didn't get him like the limelight other than a few months and getting those chants and all that, and like once he got the title, they knew they were going to deflate it quickly by having him lose it. So for him though, he's getting himself like even though it's a jobber job, most likely a job for the next few years. So in a way, it did its job. It just unfortunately he and some of those fans expect more. That's not there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think they could still, if they reintroduced his title and like kind of made him a relevant thing again, you know, like just have him have like a YouTube show and like start bringing it and get like the internet buzz going about him again. Then he could have people like Heath Slater and like.
Also, Heath Slater, when does he get his U.S. title shot? Let's be real. Petition it, or Schoolboy Rape. He's coming to get you, Cena.
That's right.
And WWE. I think it'd be more like a give me a hug, not like a
Just like
or sorry, a massage. You're like, come here.
Yeah.
Massaging the belt. They're like, this is creepier than Bray Wyatt. No, but my thing with Zack Ryder is he's doing stuff that they wish other guys would do, and it's a little too late for them.
Yeah.
So they almost want to use his example as, okay, how do we get a Ziggler or someone else to get even bigger by using this stuff, you know, or like the Neville's.
And like I guess the thing, like they obviously want more content, and I think if they made it relevant again for them to have, and like maybe don't even have like revamp the internet championship, like make it a real thing. Don't put Zack Ryder's face on it, and just have low card guys, like because they have the mid card guys fighting for the U.S.
But the guys who are main event
and
who are like winning and losing there here and there.
Yeah, so I mean, but yeah, like, so it doesn't even really matter. Like it's gonna be like a thing that happens, and like it's gonna be ridiculous, and like nobody's really gonna take it seriously. Much like the hardcore title, like when they had people that were just like, oh yeah, they're catering, and now somebody's a new champ, and like they had one where I think Jerry Briscoe won it while somebody was sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, and like...
And it's funny, and it's legit, like, they kind of went back and forth, you know? So you can do stuff with those titles that they don't care as much about. Let's be real. Like, there's no cruiserweight and all that. And, well, I do think if you're not going to do internet, maybe they could do a pre-show title. So then it's not just an NXT title.
Well, yeah, don't even
but give the guys who aren't in NXT, like a certain point, it'll be R-Truth and all that. Give them a chance to have a title run and make something of the pre-show and a title. It's like, there's a lot that they can do. Yeah. And then it gives your guys like the Heath Slaters and all that, who are funny when they do the right stuff. It gives them time when they know they can't give them years down the line, like 20 minutes on a pay-per-view. Give them the pre-show and give them like an internet or pre-show title. Yeah. So speaking of like we're talking about guys and like gear, let's talk about maybe what's the silliest gear like that you can you think of a wrestler that you're like I love that or I hate it. You know what I mean?
Silliest gear, Farouk.
Oh, the one where he like Ahmed Johnson, like he had that blue helmet,
that weird gladiator thing where he came in with Sunny.
Yeah. I was trying to think of people, but that might actually be the best because that was always like it's still a question mark to me going, how did this get approved?
Yeah. The Farouk or Giant Gonzalez.
Those two are great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Is there anybody else? There's got to be a WCW guy, Baskin Booger, but that's just a big guy in a gray suit.
The Maestro.
Prince Iakea, but that was more just like why did he change Mortis, Glacier.
Yeah.
Disco Inferno, that actually it was a gimmick that works, so that's not that silly. But yeah, I think I gotta go with Farouk. I think that one's great.
Yeah. What about Berlin and the Wall?
there was a bunch of
David Flair just had a.
We're not gonna take it. And then he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Still a better champ than Sheamus.
Yeah.
With his reign. Okay, so this is gonna be a silly question, but favorite pyro moment. I'll go with mine first because I think they're. When I speak of pyro, it has to be something that's impressive or just in awe, or it really sums up the person. But I gotta go with the tie.
Glorious, you could say.
Glorious, yeah. But I would have to say that when I think of fireworks, and I mean Alberto sort of stole this, but I would think of either Randy Orton's the one where it's falling or it's going up, that, or I'd go with Goldberg just because that entrance was
kind of similar, like a Christian, like sort of the Christian.
Yeah, but so those two when I think of fireworks and moments, like, and I know Batista had cool stuff and like Kurt Angle sometimes, but when I think of fireworks, it can really help a person off, or when it's like Brock jump in the ring and you go. That's great, but I think I'd go with Goldberg or Randy Orton because I don't think anything's gonna top this Randy Orton one, right?
Listen, I'm gonna take you on a little journey.
He's going to Schoolboy Rapey Boys.
So, I'm gonna paint a picture somewhere around, say, 1997 to 98. We have a young upstart champion in WCW named Kevin Nash.
Big Sexy.
And
Who's in a new movie called Big Mike? Not Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Big Sexy. Magic Mike XXL.
Yeah. So and then
Free plug for you. He was also Shredder in
Super Shredder. Yeah.
Super Shredder in Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
Also the Russian in Punisher.
And he was in a couple. He was in Adam Sandler's Longest Yard. He's
Yeah.
got a couple of credits.
Khali was in that one too.
He
Great
was.
Khali.
Khali was actually really good, like in that, and actually Get Smart. So Khali's got some good acting chops. He knows, like I think he's comedically good. But
Okay,
Kevin Nash is
so-
good stuff. Anyways,
So
off
here we go.
topic.
So we are. I'm painting this picture.
1999.
So 98,
WCW.
99. WCW. We have young upstart Kevin Nash walking down the ramp with his newly won WCW Heavyweight Championship. And might I remind you that the night in question is a Thursday night. Yes, I said Thursday, not Nitro, but we are talking about Thunder.
Thursday Night Thunder.
Thursday Night Thunder. And Kevin Nash is walking down to the most glorious spectacle of fireworks and pyro I've ever seen in my entire life, likely spending upwards to $30,000 on one entrance. It does not stop, folks. It is... He's walking down, there's things going on behind him, they got sparklers and spinny wheels and stuff, and then he's walking down the ramp's going off, and like just behind him still there's other stuff, the stage is blowing up, and like
It's a thunder.
it's literally like it keeps going, and like the video
And
we
it's not
saw,
like one at a time.
yeah, the video I saw, it was
He actually, I gotta be honest, he showed me right before
Yeah.
we started this. I go like, we have to talk about this.
yeah, it was just something that it was the most
We'll
big-
tweet it out too. I think
So-
we'll try to link you guys.
Yeah, it starts off because it was a GIF, and yes, it's a GIF. I refuse to say GIF because it's stupid. Sorry, that's a
with
moral
him.
stance I took.
I'm with him on that. I think.
So yeah, it's a GIF. So we saw it was of the event in question, and
Thursday Night Thunder.
it starts after the pyro has already started. So the GIF has started. Pyro's already in progress. So who knows when it actually started? It could have been going on for like 30 seconds prior to him coming out, and it ends while it's still going on. So like,
and it's already a long clip.
it's like a 30-second clip easily, and it is so incredible. Like that amount of pyro. I don't even like. I have no clue exactly how. Like I'm taking a very conservative guess at $30,000. He just took like the Turner dump truck full of money and just
That
said
promised
like,
him, yeah.
let's blow it up. And
But do you think maybe he was gonna leave the company and they said, "What are your demands to stay?" He's like, $30,000 pyro Thunder.
I think it was just he's like, it'd be kind of funny if we went on Thunder and there was just a bunch of pyro for no reason. Like,
Oh man.
and like at this point there were people in there, cruiserweights, getting paid peanuts. Like in comparison to these guys.
That's so sad that it's
And-
like all these guys' money went into pyro.
Yeah, like Juventud Guerrero with like just
Juby juice.
yeah, the juice was definitely loose on that one, but like he
Oh man.
was not getting paid extremely well, and then you had these people with these guaranteed contracts with Creative Control, just like holding the title, and then
He's
just-
already got like he's already should be champ. And
Oh my God,
it's
like-
fun when I had to admit I laughed and like, and it's with the what you showed me had no audio, so if you can find the audio one, please send it
Yeah.
to me. I really would love to see it.
It's just the absurdity of it, and just
You
like
think if he won the title and he was new and they wanted to make fun of it, going like, here's a celebration on Nitro or pay per view, but they did it on Thunder in a throwaway Thunder Pride match.
Thunder that nobody watched, mind you.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I actually watched a lot of Thunder. I have to say, like I don't remember much of
I
it,
know,
but I know
but in-
that was my like Wednesday or Thursday night, depending on when
Yeah,
it was on.
in terms of like ratings and stuff, when it came to like the shows, like there's to my knowledge at that point, I think SmackDown had just started, if that,
Yeah.
and like so there wasn't really any competition. They just decided like, hey, let's make a Thursday show so that we're on more and we could have more content.
Well, because
for
TBS
WWE.
only had Saturday night, right? So like that was probably TBS going like, we got a good thing here. Why not get another show? And the first few months that they tried good stuff, but
Well,
when
they
they did
did-
$30,000 Pyro.
Yeah, they had Monday Nitro that was going like great at that point. It was
But that was
like,
also
killing
TNT,
the
so it
ratings.
wasn't like the actual TBS channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just like the footage is ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's like if you get a chance to watch it, it's just like it just sums up maybe why another reason why that company fell apart.
Oh my god.
But I would love to know if that. I don't even know if it was a match or a promo, but which actually leads me to maybe my final question towards us is our favorite promos of all time, like whether it be. It can be retirement. It can be funny. It can be serious. It can be sad, or it can be a heel promo. Like what sticks with you as something big? Because I got 2 examples, and I don't think they'll be as used as much as certain ones might be by people watching real.
Just 2 off the top of my head. I mean,
it doesn't have to be 2. It can be 1, or it can
there's a ton of great. Great.
and there'll be more
promos
after we
out
leave.
there.
We'll think of more, and I'll
Yeah. And like obviously, I'm just gonna throw 2 out there because like it's impossible really for me to throw out my favorite one.
Can I just ask you when I look for promos or matches, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch something. And do you end up watching maybe like 3 hours of stuff for no reason? Like I'll watch one thing and I'll be like, and then I'll get to theme songs and I'll get to promos.
Oh yeah. You fall down like the weird rabbit hole and then usually end up on like the top 100 moves of somebody.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, how did I get here?
Or what is the fail one? What's the one where they show all the?
Oh, Botchmania.
Yeah. Like, those ones always have.
That's usually one of my first ones. Is I watch Botchmania. But
So yeah, back to promos. But yeah, so like I always find I get like it's like a rabbit hole of. Well, if I start this, I hope to stop. But then it's like 3 hours later, like I got.
Yeah, it's all the recommended videos on the side, and it's
dangerous.
It's a dangerous game. So there are obvious ones out there. Like there's the pipe bomb, which is like what got me back into watching wrestling again, and like, I was watching it off and on, but that's what really hooked me.
Yeah.
And got me back in. So for like. I think my top recent promo. I'm gonna go with that one just because it like the significance of it getting me back into paying attention to the workings of wrestling, and then just kind of a little bit lesser than that was Mark Henry did a great promo where he was retiring.
That's actually just to say that was one of my 2 choices. Mark Henry.
And John Cena came out to go shake his hand and then. He gets the world's strongest slam, and it was such a glorious thing.
Tears.
Yeah, he had a salmon jacket on. It was amazing.
And it was just around the time where he was doing matches and he was yelling this brilliant improv lines and like it was getting the crowd behind it and like he's like talking about my heart don't beat on Kool-Aid and stuff like that. Like he said so many funny things and he did this. It was like it was one of those that it should have won like Slammies upon Slammies. That was like the best moment of that year. I don't care what anyone says.
And just for a ridiculous promo. One that will always have a special place in my heart. Is,
to me, the only thing negative of that is he should have at least. I get Daniel Bryan should have won the title, but if he wasn't going to win it to WrestleMania, I would have loved Mark Henry winning it for a month or 2. Even because I don't think he's ever going to get it again. And that promo is warranting of championships. Like that's one of the best things I've seen in years. Match or promo. He was passionate. Cena played the right stuff. The announcers did, and the crowd ate it up. And he just that smile at the end, and then he beats them up. Brilliant moment, fans cheer, and like some of them were shocked or whatever. But one of the best promos I've ever seen. Yeah. And they sold the story.
Yeah, right. It was really good, and I think we can both agree that that's like one of the top ones of recent memory. Now I had a ridiculous one. I was just going to mention it was one that I'd always remembered. It was roughly around the. It was during right when Biker Undertaker was starting.
Wasn't a big fan of that guy.
No, and it was a promo where Undertaker and Big Show were teaming.
Yeah.
And he comes out and says that like he took the Big Show into the desert and only gave him enough fuel to get halfway into the desert, and he had to walk his way back. So Big Show ran out of gas, and he had to carry this motorcycle on his back. Yeah, carry a motorcycle on his back, walking through the rest of the desert to get back to water or whatever. And it was such a just
terrible,
dumb promo.
I thought you were saying it was gonna be good. I was like, what?
No, it was such a silly thing, and like. Usually the Undertaker's got really great promos because he had.
I'm gonna disagree with you because like anytime he promoted WrestleMania, he always got the dates wrong and all that, and there's always flubs to him. But I guess we differ on that. But like,
Yeah, but I mean, just generally speaking, like when he did like the regular, promos for like casket matches or whatever, that kind of deal. Like I remember him having a big impact when he was doing like back when he first started and came in. But yeah, that was just such
it's
a
a go
silly.
nowhere promo.
It was just such a silly thing, and like nobody was buying it in the crowd. Everyone's kind of like, "What?
What's going on here? Bike on your back? Get out of here!"
Yeah, it's like first of all, I don't think Big Show can lift the motorcycle on his back, and
Even
why,
for a second.
Why would he do it? Like, why wouldn't he just leave it there and just walk the rest of the way? Like, and it was just such a dumb promo, and yeah, it just always stuck in my head. So, do you have a?
Okay, I had another one. We'll talk about that because I think it's just a good moment. It was very crucial in a storytelling that was about to happen. But I have to mention, like John Cena has done a lot of good stuff. His stuff with The Rock was great. Like when they went back and forth and like calling out his line stuff, and The Rock went back and forth, and they did the rap one night and Rock did his concert. Promos like that are great. The night John Cena got drafted to Raw, there was a good stuff with Jericho, Christian, and like all that. But actually, because of that promo, I think it was a week or two after, or the next pay-per-view, it was actually Backlash, and all these cards were happening, and Christian was starting to get a bit hot, and Vince just never wants to give him matches. And Christian actually had a promo at Backlash with Tyson Tomko was out there, and he actually did a John Cena rap where he talked about all the guys who were getting title shots about him. He's making fun of Bradshaw, Batista, having lack of charisma and all that. That was a great promo. So if you want, check out Christian Backlash promo. I think it was 2007 or so, maybe.
Yeah.
But check it. It's like I would watch that back in the day when like internet didn't have as well internet, but I'd be like whenever I search wrestling, that was one of the few. That was one of my favorite. Like it's funny and it was a good promo, and he was a good guy, bad guy in it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite pros of all time. It's not funny, but any funny one that can get over like the ones where they did the. Like, it was Christian, and they did the picture in the ring with, like, John Laurinaitis. Stuff like that should go nowhere and end up being, like, so funny. You're like, I gotta find that picture. Those are always great. I love to laugh, because you're gonna get a serious promo tonight, so sometimes you need a good, like, and John Cena's good with that sometimes, as long as it doesn't go with poopy jokes.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite promos, Mark Henry was my favorite, but, and you spoiled that for me. Heel turned by a rapey boy here. Schoolboy rapey. Yeah, I almost messed that up there. Sting's promo when he got turned on by Lex Luger in WCW didn't trust him anymore. He cut a promo. He's wearing his red tights. It's Nitro, and they're like, Sting's finally going to speak because for weeks they thought he was actually, and there was a fake Sting who pretended to be him, and that he joined the villains at the time, the NWO, and he helps them. And then the next night after War Games, he comes out and he finally speaks to the crowd, and he just basically he turns his back on them because the crowd at that point metaphorically turned their back on him, and he just cuts a 3-minute promo on them, and he says, from time to time, maybe you'll see me again. And then he disappears. I think he had an injury or they write him off, but it was one of the best. And then he eventually came back months later as as the Crow Sting. But it was like the final vintage speech Sting that you ever saw was the promo, and it was great. And like even the Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone going like, "Is he turning his back on us? What does this mean?" It was a really great 3-minute promo. And like knowing Sting was their babyface and to do it, it was great TV. I watch it every once in a while, and then down like when you're in the rabbit hole and you see it, you're like, I gotta watch that. It's such a great moment.
Yeah, and like there's so many out there that like there's one that it was at a Raw that I was at the Rogers Center, Skydome, whatever. And it was with when The Rock came out, and it was like around 2003, I guess, where he was Hollywood Rock. And he came out and he started like just yelling at the fans and like having like little rhymes about doing his promo and like making rhymes about like the Maple Leafs and stuff like that. And it was just,
and to be fair, they sucked. So
yeah,
I was okay with it.
It was such a like well done, like just such a great heel promo, and like got people so angry. The only thing better, I think.
Rock's great though. He's great on the mic.
The only thing I've seen that has gotten that much of a reaction, and it was from another Canadian crowd, and like that much heat was from Montreal, where Shawn Michaels was doing a promo in Montreal, and he played Bret Hart's theme. And oh my god,
oh, because didn't they play another guy's theme too, and like it was like Hogan or something like that. And he played themes of guys who didn't come out, and
Yeah.
then they did Brett, and just like they knew it was getting booed.
Oh yeah, it was such a masterful heel, and like the thing is, because from what I remember, like Shawn Michaels was not a heel at that point. He was for that one day,
Yeah,
and that was it because he was in Montreal.
yeah.
And like he came and he's just like, all right, I'm a bad guy today, and like that was it, and it was great.
Oh no, it was funny, and just like you're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe could it be? No.
Yeah, and
And that was at the time Bret Hart hadn't come
Yeah.
back yet.
Oh yeah, they hadn't reconciled that.
So
point.
it just,
was,
I like good moments like that where you're like, you're shocked, you're also like in awe, but it's not just a joke
Yeah.
for joke's sake. Like John Cena, like I said, those poop jokes and all that don't work because there's no purpose. But if you can tell it with a story of the
Yeah.
crowd, and I love any time the city can be made fun of. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always great, and that's what that's what New Day was doing. And like, you know, they were starting to get over because they were starting doing the we're good guys, and they started making fun of the cities who weren't cheering for them.
yeah.
So yeah, I like a good laugh and a good storyline and stuff. But there's some great promos. Tell us some of yours. And over the months when we keep doing these shows, we'll try to keep doing stuff like this. But
Yeah.
like any more questions or promos, we could talk about.
Yeah,
days.
and like, please, for the love of God, if you have something equal or greater than Schoolboy Rapey to pin on Mr. Lindsay Lewis here, just so I'm not the only one, and I realize I painted myself in that corner.
You made yourself a villain. I myself, the manager, outsmarted you.
Yeah.
And also I got all the money. Hashtag Streetheart. That's
Yeah.
my name. I always go with
Could
that.
you at least be like a bananager and just be like a manager in a banana costume?
No.
No?
That's yours where you're like I'm more about Schoolboy, right? There's more to me
Yeah.
than that. And they're like, I can prove it to you. Like, what do you mean? I happen to like fruit. I'm a bananager, and he comes out in the crowd's like not buying it.
Yeah,
And
or
then-
you could be like kind of like a
Mr. Chiquita,
no, like Mantor, like where that he was like the half bull man or whatever.
the son of Skinner
So-
or something, or
yeah,
Simon Dean Jr.
Yeah, so you could be like a man,
Adam
like,
Bomb
in
Jr., I don't know
capitals,
what
like
it-
manager, and then
Yeah.
just have like a guy with a suit jacket or something like this.
Now Schoolboy Rapey's making sense because you were going with your A material.
Yeah,
This is the B stuff. This is the SmackDown. This is the
yeah.
SmackDown.
This is Superstars.
Canceled Superstars even.
Yeah.
Is Superstars still on the air?
Main event, I think, is Superstars.
So because they even have the same lighting scheme, so I think
Yeah.
they basically just politely shoot.
yeah, this is Velocity.
And so yeah, and then at a certain point, Heat or Velocity will take over this to be like, it's fresh, guys. Watch it on the WWE
Yeah.
Network in Canada for $11.99, not $9.99.
Yeah, or on XBMC for free.
I'll figure a name for me. But for now, it's at the Lindsay Lewis because I'm on Twitter, and
Mhm.
you are at Kevin Herron.
At
or
Kevin Herron.
we're trying to find it now. We're gonna see if it's taken.
Hashtag Schoolboy Rapey.
And did we had a description of our show? I can't remember. What we
Yeah,
said.
it was a vintage podcast snubbed by WWE Hall of Famers.
Yes, Hall of Famers. Hall of Famer, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm not attacking it until we get more than one declining us.
Yeah.
But you're.
He didn't defend us, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and to be fair, yeah, it was only one dude that we talked to. We were so discouraged that we decided.
Well, to be fair, there was 3 or 4 guys there, and one of them didn't show who was the biggest one, and then the other guy wasn't there at the time, and there's 2 guys left, and so we went up to one of them that looked. This was my strategy.
most
too.
approachable.
Yeah, and that was mine to Kevin. Go like, which one of the 2 do we talk to first, or to see? And then we were looking, we're talking, and I went, that guy seems like he's in a bad mood, or was just having a moment. I went, this guy looks like he's a nice guy. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
He
And the
also
other guy
played-
looked like he was having a great time.
Yeah.
But like we'd
Yeah,
already,
seconds later I went, damn it, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go ask him right beside the other guy.
but we'd already committed to just never speak to this guy again.
Basically, it was our cash in and unsuccessful.
Mhm.
We Damien Sandow that
Yeah.
moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah, basically it's
We were never heard from again.
yeah, it was they basically wheeled us off the stage in a wheelchair. And it was it was rough.
I'm glad it happened. It made us stronger. It made you
Yeah.
Schoolboy Rapey. Hashtag tough enough season
Yeah.
2016.
So yeah, and like I said, I mean, it just for integrity's sake, you know, what little integrity Schoolboy Rapey has. But
PG-13.
yeah,
Or sorry, TV-14A.
yeah. So I mean, like, there are things on the horizon, but we couldn't justify, you know, just basically putting ourselves in a position where we weren't comfortable being. So there we go. And
That's a great
I
way
feel
to...
I feel that we've
I think
talked.
we've deflated all the fun of the show into the ending, like, because the last show we did similar things, sort of, but it was something we had to talk about. But yeah, no. Hopefully, we're having some fun now,
Yeah.
and
Hopefully-
obviously,
Hopefully nobody else dies.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is just gonna get even more depressing.
yeah. But yeah, no, we're gonna just have some more fun shows, and obviously, occasionally we'll be talking about reviewing the shows or predicting them, kind of or the in between. Maybe we'll do a pre and after and put them together. But yeah, Battleground is the next one, and we got a summer of WWE coming up. We got a Tokyo show that happened. We may talk about that soon. Tell you about the results that happened that we've already seen.
I cannot believe it.
It was Tokyo-rific. No, but it was a cool show. Interesting. I'm curious to see what WWE Network does next. It's a free month in July, and I'm sure for August, I can't wait for maybe August I'll do it if it's in Canada. It's free, and get SummerSlam and the pre-show and all that jazz. But we'll see what happens. Brock's back, and then we start pushing to the fall of WWE, and more than one way than another, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've been probably watching us or listening to us. We're on YouTube, on the Smithy channel, and more. You're probably watching us here if you're watching us, and you're also listening to us potentially on iTunes.
Yep, absolutely. And with regards to the iTunes as well, we're constantly looking for ways to improve, I guess, the audio presentation of it. So if you guys have any ideas of maybe a theme we could use or something to that effect, just tweet us a link or maybe, just shoot your ideas to us in our inbox, what have you, at Vintage Podcast. Or if you want to throw together a nice little audio package for us, you could even just use the audio of me just saying, Schoolboy Rapey presents Vintage Podcast.
And Lindsay Lewis.
With at Kevin Heron and at the Lindsay Lewis.
Hashtag declined by
Hashtag
Hall of Famers.
snubbed by legends.
Maybe he knew you were Schoolboy Rapey.
Yeah.
He saw in your eyes, and he's like, not today, unless
And
you
his
pay $20.
cold.
Yeah, his
Pro-
$20.
yeah,
His
def-
cost was $20.
His cold, definitely not Russian eyes.
So be it. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. We look forward to keeping this journey of the show going.
Yep.
And let us know what you want us to talk about on the fun shows like this again. So until next time, stay good, and hopefully soon we can report that New Day is the champs again.
Absolutely.
And feel free to cut us a promo if you want, because we're talking about promos, or make up a title belt for us. Let's have some fun with this stuff if you're watching or listening. Yeah.
It's true.
John Cena, Silver
Brother.
Salute. See you guys next time. Thanks, guys.